Hey everyone, welcome to the Veloce race review. This is episode number 2, and we're going to be looking at the Trexlertown training series on Thursday nights.
I'm Pat Brown, and this is Aaron McNanny. So, getting into the race here, the Thursday night crits down at Trexlertown, they have every 3 laps is a bell lap, so it's a sprint lap where you can get points. So, you just heard the bell. Now I'm going up to Aaron. I'm the domestique for the day, so I'm working for Aaron. And I'm talking to him right now. He's on my right side. And I'm asking him, hey, do you want to go for this sprint? And if he says yes, then I'm going to lead him out.
Right, so because it's a points race, it's sort of like mimicking a track style points race type situation. So you get points for every sprint lap, and then all those points at the end of the race are compiled, and the person with the most points wins the race. So it doesn't actually matter how well you do on the final lap. It matters how you do on all of
throughout the whole race.
Yeah, throughout the whole race.
So right here, again, it's on the bell lap. I'm kind of letting Aaron take the lead a little bit up the hill, and then I'm going to start taking over for the lead out. It's a little bit of a lengthy loop, so I don't want to start the lead out too early, because then I won't be able to hold everything off before Aaron can actually sprint for the win for this lap. So I get on the front here and I start putting down some good power. As the domestique, it doesn't matter to me which place I get when I cross the finish line. It's just going to be where can I get my lead man to where he can sprint well.
And Pat, you put out a lot of power right here. I mean, you're 600, 700 watts, and this is like a little climb right here. He's got a heart rate of 200 beats per minute, and I knew that he was suffering at this point. My legs were feeling really well, and so that's why really good, and that's why we decided, for me to try to go for the big W. But yeah, so rounding this corner right here, as soon as we finish, that right there is the finish line. So he's leading me out, and then the guy on his wheel is actually going around the right there. Yep, there we go.
Yep, so you're sitting third wheel on that. And that just shows you were doing a fraction of the watts that I was putting out. But because I was on the front and I was putting out so many watts that are so much power, it made people not want to swing around me too early, to where then Aaron would have to react. Where if I put out enough power, then because I'm on the front, I determine when people actually go.
Right. So let's talk about the regroup right here.
Yeah. So you can see the 4 guys who contested the points are way off. So at this point, I'm thinking, well, maybe this could cause a break. So I see this guy starts going up the road, and now I'm thinking right now, I'm not going to help him at all. I'm just going to sit on his wheel, and if he can move me up to the lead group, then fine. But if Aaron can get into a breakaway, that guarantees him more points. So I was really looking to help him out.
So even though this is a points race, this kind of simulates what an actual crit is. So in actual crits, even though how you finish on the final lap determines your overall victory or lack thereof, they will have what's called a prime, and that's spelled P-R-I-M-E, kind of like prime, throughout the race. The motivation behind a prime is to incentivize racers to make the race more lively, to make this more exciting for spectators. And what they'll say is, hey, on the next lap, the first person to cross the finish line gets $20 or wins a bottle of wine or whatever it is. So this kind of situation happens in criteriums all the time, where halfway through the race promoter will say, prime lap, 4 guys go off the front trying to catch that prime, and there's separation between those prime chasers and the rest of the field, and that'll create a separation.
Yeah, because a lot of people, they're going for the overall win to get points towards upgrading, or for different reasons. Maybe they're just working for a leader. So you see here, I'm on the same guy's wheel. He's putting in a monster pull.
You're not working at all.
And I'm not working at all.
Why? Why would you work?
Yeah, so because I have a teammate up the road, that means that I really don't have to work. And you see here, we're catching the group, and so we're all together now.
So look out for T-Town Rider in the right there in the blue.
And then also in the blue and red there, Aaron. You'll see here, we're all still together as a group, but we're coming up on a bell lap. So that means that, once you finish that specific lap, then you'll get points in this race, or you get a preem in any other race.
So here's the rider right in front of Pat right now that ends up sticking with me on that breakaway.
Yeah. So right here, you'll see Aaron's going to put in an attack, and it's quite a far out attack because it's going to be a full loop.
This is a bell lap, so you can see him banging the bell, meaning that this is the bell lap. So
yeah, and you see Aaron takes off. I see them take off. I'm kind of looking around to see who's going to go. I ended up trying to get on this guy who's wearing the black and white Scots because I wasn't going to work. I was just going to let him do everything for me because I don't need to catch up to Aaron because he's up the road. I'm just going to stay on his wheel.
And I'll tell you what, at this point even, I didn't think that we had very much separation. And one thing to pay attention to, if you want to be an attack rider, if you want to be a breakaway racer, you need to trust that your effort is going to amount to something. Especially as a new rider, it's very scary putting yourself out there on the line because you think that if you get caught, you're going to have wasted all of your energy. You're going to get dropped, and you're not even going to be able to finish the race. You need to trust that that's going to happen, and that brake's going to stick.
Yeah. So at this point, you can see the brake is firmly established. We'll take a look around this guy at one point, so you can see. Now there's two guys up the road. There's Aaron and the T-Town guy. Then there are these two other guys who are kind of in no man's land. So that's kind of the situation. Then the peloton's gonna scoop them up.
So that's me and the other rider going around that bend to the right now. I'd say we're about maybe 8 seconds, 10 seconds away.
Yeah, which is still a significant gap. So I'm thinking again, I'm not going to try to attack. I'm just going to sit on wheels and have people do the work for me if they want to move up. And then that'll also be one less person who's gonna take pulls at the front. But at this point, I have to cover everything. And so I look to my left, I see this guy's going. So I need to put in a huge effort. You see, I got up to about 1,400 watts, and it's important to get that snap. And that's exactly what the rider did. He pulled through off the front, and if someone's not paying attention, then they need to put in, so many more watts than the guy doing the original effort.
So he's trying to chase down myself and the other riders.
Correct. And now he doesn't want to just tow the whole peloton back, so that's why he makes a very sharp acceleration, so then it's tough for people to get on his wheel. And this is where the chase. So basically everyone's in the peloton right now. It's kind of separating out. There's some space, and then there's two guys up the road, including the T-Town guy and Aaron. So at this point, I'm seeing, okay, you can see my watts are kind of low. I start putting it up because I see that, okay, now there's a group of two guys and myself who have a little break on everyone else. So then I start working because if I can be up the road, then odds are I can help Aaron get the win while these other guys are just fighting against each other.
Yeah, and one thing I'll say is if you're in a break, I'm suffering pretty good right now. The rider and I are working together. We're not fighting each other because we know that it requires both of our efforts to stay up there, but we only maintain, and you could see us up the road right now if either of these guys move off to the side, we still only maintained a 10-second break. So all it would have taken was a little bit of disorganization from myself and that other rider to slow down just a little bit, and these two guys that Pat's behind right now would have easily caught me.
Yeah, so we this is a lap down guy who we're passing. But basically what I did is I took charge and I said, hey, we're not gonna, if we want to catch the lead guys, we're not gonna sprint for the points. We're just gonna pull through at an even pace because that's the best way to try to catch someone, to catch a breakaway.
And these are lapped riders?
Yeah, these are lapped riders here. So we're just pulling through here.
One thing I want to say about the organization that I was just mentioning, there was another sprint lap 2 laps after I attacked, or 3 laps after I attacked. The lap that I attacked, actually. And it would have been very easy for the guy that was with me, for both of us to sprint for those points. But he sort of did the honorable thing, and he said, hey, I'm not going to contest this sprint. Basically saying that he was willing to cede first place and to just take second place in order for that break to happen.
Yeah.
And that's the sort of organization and the sort of humility actually that it takes in order to succeed in a break. Is you actually have to work together. You have to put in the effort, and you have to be willing to work with others.
Thank you for watching the Veloce race review with us for the Trexlertown Thursday Night Crit. I'm Pat Brown.
And I'm Aaron McNanny, and we'll see you again soon.